Hey everyone, I wanted to do a channel, but I don't know really where to put videos like these, but I'm just going to test and experiment. For long form talking melee related videos, I put it on the Melee on Me channel, and then usually my Tafokints channel on YouTube is usually primarily used for Tetris videos, gameplay videos, puzzle game videos, and I usually don't really talk in these kind of long form videos, but these are things that I've wanted to do for a while, so I'm gonna post it up, and if this doesn't quite work out or it doesn't quite hit the audience, I will probably pick another channel, but. I figure topics like these that pertain to gaming, streaming are close enough to my content of people who watch my Tetris videos, my puzzle game videos, that I felt like there's enough overlap. So today I want to talk about, if you can see to my left here, or my right, my left, your right, just a recent announcement of Twitch, considering changes to its partner program. They talk about, the rev split being lower, tier system, no more exclusivity, more ads, and it didn't hit well at all on Twitter, on social media. A lot of people are complaining, saying let's move on to YouTube. This isn't fair, and all this stuff, and want to just give my take on all this. For a while, I've been a partner on Twitch for about 5 to 6 years, about 6, 7, 8 years. I got lucky that I was involved in Melee, and I knew a bunch of people at Twitch. That got me partnered for doing a lot of the community organizing and all that fun stuff. So, and then just to be transparent, I do have a higher split just over time because I was on C9 as a player, and a bunch of other stuff. I did have that nice cut. So, what do I think about this? So, over time, there was a period in time where I really wanted to work for Twitch, and the reason why was because I thought it was really cool, and I actually interviewed with them about 6, 7 years ago. I didn't get the job. Maybe it was for the better end of things. My life moved on. But why did I want to work there? I thought it was really cool, and I think back in 2014, in the earlier days of Twitch, like everybody wanted to work for them. They were the cool company. You saw their purple people in purple hoodies. They were present at every gaming event. It felt like they were on beat with the community, and in particular for like Smash and FGC, they hired people like Bobby Scar, Toph, Mike Ross, a bunch of people that felt like they really cared about the community and growing it. And so the partnerships team, the community team, they were fantastic. And they would throw all these after parties, and I was able to give some feedback and have these conversations with the engineers and project managers, along with a lot of other streamers, to talk about product that we were interested in, feedback, some of the problems, pain points, and they were usually pretty receptive and quick to implement a lot of things. Scar was the one that actually implemented cheering, for example, which brought in another decent revenue stream for streamers. So it felt like this was a community, a culture, a company that I would love to be a part of because I felt like they were building something special. And over time, I'm not really going to go into like the internal kind of fallout of Twitch, working inside there. I've heard stories, but that's not for this video or this place or for me to share those stories. But over time, company culture shifted. They got bought out by Amazon. They started growing larger, and a combination of those two factors, among other things, and leadership, led to a massive shift in the way that Twitch handled things. It was no longer about serving the needs of the community, although that probably is a core tenet of Twitch. But at the end of the day, it's about the dollars, right? So ad revenue, all the products seemed to be shifted in priority. It felt like I was no longer being listened to as a creator. A lot of my friends felt like we were no longer important. We are just kind of just an asset or a tool or a means to bring clout. And I don't know how to explain it directly, but it just felt like the cool vibes of the company kind of just slowly withered away. I can't pinpoint to the exact moment in time, but that's just how it felt. And over time, a lot of my friends started leaving too. And I don't really figure that I don't think this is a particular coincidence or anything, but if you look at a lot of my friends who've worked on Twitch, or worked in Twitch rather, Ben SW, Atrioc, Toph, Scar, Crimson Blur, Mike Ross, most of them aren't working there anymore. And I think that the allure of Twitch and the culture is pretty much gone now. I would say that Twitch Still big streaming company. I use Twitch, and just to preface, this isn't a shot at any particular Twitch employee, or this is more me talking about the Twitch company as a whole. I've had great experiences working with people when I was at CLG. I worked with a bunch of great partnership people, so I didn't really have a problem with any individual. So just to preface, I don't have any issue with any individual, but yeah, I just think that the Twitch culture is being eroded, and it's not what I've seen. Like when I first started and adored Twitch. So now we get to this point, and this is where the doom and gloom kind of come in, right? So when I look at the particular things that are being mentioned here, new rev split, new tier system, no more exclusivity, incentive for more ads. I don't really see this actually to be that bad as people are making it out to be, because if I look at these things, right, there's tier systems. I would have to hear more about, what are the exact details being implemented, what are the incentives, but for example, the rev split going down from 70% to 50%. Like, I don't know if the tier system will bring that back up to 70%. But fact of the matter is, majority of streamers don't have that 70% split. It's a special reserve for what used to be esports teams, or people who were part of esports teams like Cloud9 and Team Liquid, TSM, and for people who were the ultra big creators. So I don't see that in particular really affecting anybody. And no more exclusivity could be huge. It would be cool to multi-stream. Although I don't really see that much of a benefit, to be honest. I think most people are on Twitch, but maybe this kind of like evens out the load of people who go to Twitch, who go to YouTube, who go to Facebook, who knows. And then there's, ads. That's probably the biggest thing, right? But it sounds like here they're not really adding. I don't know if they're forcing ads more. And I know over the past few years, people have added, it seems like Twitch is forcing more ads onto people. I know that whenever I enter a new channel, there's ads that are like mandatory now. And in the past, even when I had a Twitch Turbo, or whatever the service was, it seemed like they used to promise no ads, but now they have ads. So I get it. Like, part of it is like they're a company that wants to make money, and I don't know. I don't think they're profitable from everything I've heard. Like, Twitch in and of itself isn't a profitable company, so I'm imagining that a lot of people are upset about there being more ads and in the space. But I think that in the end, I think the thing that's kind of tragic in all this is I remember talking to a good friend of mine, and this was in the he worked at Twitch. I'm not going to name names, but he mentioned at the time when they were talking about features and they're having meetings about the direction of Twitch, and the notion of competition came in. They all laughed. These were more of the MBA suits that were managing Twitch. And they just laughed and said they weren't ever going to lose because of one simple thing. They wrote on the board, and it was just pretty much the words Twitch Prime. And as long as they have Twitch Prime, they are going to have a monopoly, right? They grew their monopoly from being a cool company, having great community figures, and creating a pretty good product, right? Like, I'll give Twitch credit for that. Even if YouTube has a better encoding, rewind, and a bunch of other things, Twitch essentially has a monopoly, and it's going to take a lot for people to leave. And I think the killer of the stream wars, at least for the immediate future and probably the next 2, 3, 4, 5, even 10 years, is the fact that they have Twitch Prime. And even if a person were to switch to YouTube and YouTube offers 70% or 80%, the fact of the matter is, even if I switch, right, I would make less money with even a 90% split on YouTube, because the majority of the people that support me have Twitch Prime, and they are very unlikely to spend $4.99 or whatever the cost is of a sub, right? So even if I were to switch or to complain saying like they're cutting the money that I'm earning, that is still more money than what streaming on another platform would be, right? And Mixer and Facebook in the past have tried to mitigate this by saying we're going to give you guaranteed money to come into our stream, and YouTube is doing this to an extent. But the fact of the matter is that even if you get 100% rev share if I were to go to Mixer and I got 200% rev split, meaning if for whatever reason for every $5 that somebody subbed with, I would get $10, I would probably still be making less money on Mixer, just because there's no audience on Mixer. Hypothetically, if Mixer were still up. So what am I getting at with this? It's kind of the unfortunate reality that we're in a monopoly. So first off, I don't think the tweet that is listed to my over there is as bad as it seems. I think the reaction's overblown, but I think it does highlight another notion that Twitch is here to stay. A bunch of platforms have tried to compete. Maybe YouTube figures out something, and if YouTube were to figure out something, I think they need to fix a lot of things. I think their discovery. It's just so hard to find a live stream on the site. There are just numerous problems on the site that just make it just extra unusually hard. And there's no really good analytics system for YouTube. YouTube streaming, at the very least. This is something Ludwig mentioned in his video. So even then, if you were to go like, oh, let's all go to YouTube, fact of the matter is there's no Twitch Prime. Most of us will be making less money, and so in the end, it's kind of smoke and mirrors, and a lot of people are not going to move in the end, or if they do move, they realize they shot themselves in the foot, because building a new audience on a different platform in addition to making less money is also really hard. Not most people who live on Twitch, they're going to stay on Twitch. They're not going to go to YouTube as like their kind of, or YouTube streaming to find creators. So yeah, we're kind of doomed here. But those are just overall my thoughts on this, and hopefully, I'll create more videos. Let me know what you think of me doing this type of content, and maybe I'll do some more in the future.